breaking free of fear of rejection. Today, in this video, I will help you reach a new level of self-worth and self-value. I'll be using my technique True Unity to step through layers of fear of rejection and the pain that comes with feeling rejection so you can freely move forward in your life. If you haven't seen any of these videos before, check out True Unity Explained to see a little bit about this technique, and otherwise, let's get started. Fear of rejection can really be a huge showstopper in people's lives. They stay in crappy jobs because they're afraid that if they go into interviews, they're gonna hear no. They don't ask for raises or projects because they're afraid they're gonna hear no. They don't date or dare to ask somebody out that they feel an attraction to because, again, they fear this rejection. And usually the fear of rejection heightens because the pain of feeling rejected is so high. They really feel that they are worthless, that they are not good enough when they hear a no. And that is not a healthy way to react to a no. When we are rejected, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're not good enough. If you hear a no from a job interview, it's not necessarily you're not good enough. It is that there's a better candidate. Or sometimes even that there's no job anymore. If there is a rejection on a romantic level, it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It might just mean that somebody is not in a place to date. When we take these rejections so personally and decide that that means something about our value, it is no surprise that we no longer want to make ourselves vulnerable, want to go out there, and want to communicate what we want. So this is a huge problem in people's lives because then you stay stuck in situations that aren't right for you, and you long for something that you don't dare to go for because that rejection is so huge. If you recognize this, come and do this exercise with me to really release this fear of rejection and the pain that comes with rejection so you can hear a no and say, okay, so I guess this is not for me. Personally, I feel this is very important because we will hear a lot of no's in our life. Starting from when we're a little small and our parents say a lot of no's, but throughout our lives there will be places, people, jobs, situations that aren't right for us, and we need to hear that no and move on in a way that's healthy for us. So let's get started and first step into our feeling of self-worth. When you do that and you talk about fear of rejection, in your self-worth you might feel like you're not standing strong. You might even feel like you're bending backwards, almost like you're being blown out of your own space. You might get chills because your self-worth is just not feeling healthy and strong. So the first thing to do is to understand that we shouldn't take the rejection personal. And that it's perfectly okay if another person says no to us, because that also frees us to say no to other people. A lot of times when people fear rejection, they also fear saying no to other people because they feel that that means that they are hurting another person. But we're not. We're just simply saying no. So take a deep breath and say, a rejection is not personal. A rejection is not personal. And when you actually feel that in your body, you might notice that you're standing stronger and taller and you feel better about yourself. If you're not there yet, just repeat this step until you feel an inner peace with yourself, understanding truly from all fibers of your being that a rejection is not personal. And then the next step is to say, a rejection says nothing about my value. A rejection says nothing about my value. And when you step into that, you'll probably feel wider and bigger because you're growing into who you are and understanding that you're valuable no matter how many no's you will get in your life. And then the next step is, I no longer fear rejection. I know there's a place for me. I no longer fear rejection. I know there's a place for me. So all we need to do in this life is feel and find the place that's right for us. So embrace the places where you get a no, because you know that just means that you continue on your journey, and that if you would have gone there, you wouldn't have gotten what you needed. So really stand in your place of self-worth and feel wonderful about yourself. And then the last and final step is, I know and appreciate my value. If you do suffer a lot from fear of rejection, you can repeat this video or ask me for a free intake and work on the personal levels why it's so hard for you to take positive steps for yourself. Just send me an email or call me, and you find all the information about my services at flowofmiracles.com.